Mel Gibson stars as Chris Kringle, a real life Santa Claus who reluctantly accepts a military contract from the US government to save his declining business. Meanwhile, when Chris leaves Ben Shapiro Jr. a lump of coal for Christmas, he hires hitman Walton Goggins to find and assassinate Chris, aka the Fatman. Yeah, no, actually, the kid who played Billy, he reminded me of Ben Shapiro. This whole movie, and it's actually interesting that when I was looking some information up about this movie, they actually casted this kid because he looked like Ben Shapiro.
No way.
Up, apparently that was what they were trying to go for. So I thought that
Wow.
was kind of funny.
His name
Huh.
is Chance Hurstfield.
Chance Hurstfield. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
He actually
and
did a really good job as a shitty kid.
it's exactly
Yes.
Like
what I was about to say.
I agree. 100%. It's like
Totally agree.
evil Richie Rich is kind of the vibe I got.
yeah.
Yeah. He's John Larroquette's son and Richie Rich.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a fantastic job, I thought. I was about 5 minutes in after we meet his character for the first time, and I'm like, "Yeah, this kid's a little shit."
Yep.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I already don't like him.
It's the perfect color ID or a contact label for this kid. It says little shit.
Yeah, that's right.
As a skinny man, that was what he was credited as. Didn't he have a name?
He did have a name. They say it one time during the movie. It's at the very end when he and
Oh, that's
Santa
right.
meet.
Jonathan Miller, you twisted child.
That's one thing that I loved about Mel Gibson's character. Well, Chris Kringle. His ability to recall everybody, even as like adults, because like he's still, I don't know, like that magic of being in a film or that ability, that power to have as Santa is pretty badass to me.
How are you, Mike?
Don't think I know you.
Nicole and the kids are well, I hope.
This
To be
guy,
omnipotent.
this guy's the real deal.
What
I
if he's
love
just
that.
snooping around on Facebook all night?
Yeah, that's that's one way of doing it.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and kick this off here. I enjoyed the movie. I did not think I was going to. I thought it looked kind of corny, especially some of the scenes that were in the trailer. But I generally thought it was a fun movie. I enjoyed watching it. I was rooting for Santa Claus, which I haven't done since I was like 8 or whatever. So
Yep.
good change of pace.
Yeah,
What
and
did
I
you guys
liked
think?
how was basically, it's the story of a 21st century Santa. Like he got to pay the bills. The man's got to eat. The man's got to run a corporation. He's got a business to make, a business to build, and product is slowing down because kids aren't believing in Santa Claus anymore. So he's only getting a certain amount of money, which we find out that the government has been sending him money as a stipend to be Santa Claus, to actually have this whole corporate uh, entity of, or a corporate operation of selling things, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a weird take on like a traditional Santa Claus story. You bring like the realism in it. It seems like he's just a guy that has a farm, and well, there's a huge operation down below in a basement in a shelter, but don't mind them. They're just working.
Has anybody seen the Robin Williams movie from 1992 called Toys?
I have, but like a long time ago.
Okay, this movie reminded me of Toys. Basically, he's a toy manufacturer, and the company, the CEO of the company dies and passes it to Robin Williams' brother, who is in the military. So the brother comes in, takes over, and they force the company to start making military weapons.
Oh, okay.
So this is kind of made me think about that a little bit.
And I do like how they didn't actually take the cliche military weapon route.
Mm.
They were, instead of military weapons, they were making the control panels for the jets
Yeah, they weren't
or
making like
whatnot.
straight up bombs
Yeah,
or
yeah, they
something.
weren't making that. However, that comment reminds me of when that one elf finds the bomb and
Oh,
takes
right.
it apart with like in like half a second
Yeah.
and defuses the thing. That was badass. I really like
Yeah.
that.
And I see when the military first came to his house and was like, "Hey, we have like a special job for you." I thought he was going to be like taking spy photos or something like that over a country.
hmm
Mm.
Because it's Santa Claus. He's lightning fast, way faster than the speed of light type thing, trying to get all to all these locations and whatnot around the world. So what better to have him take spy photos or something like that, right? But no, it was just to make some chips in his workshop.
Yep. And
So
when talk about a real world Santa, that sleigh looked rough.
it did.
That was not a
Well, Santa was looking pretty rough
Santa
himself.
Miracle on 34th Street sleigh. That thing was like barely held together with some screws and wood.
Yeah.
Like,
That's one thing
golly,
that
man.
I really enjoyed about this kind of, because I don't really like the whole fantasy of Santa and like just the ho ho and jolly jolly or whatever. And I liked Mel Gibson's take on it, and he was just a real dude. He wasn't some magical being,
Mhm.
on camera. He looked like a real dude, but with superhuman strength. So
Yeah.
he was like
Yeah,
a
that
modern
dude
day
was
Thor.
strong.
Yeah.
I definitely think that part of the movie they nailed for sure. Like,
Yeah.
how do you make Santa like a normal dude?
Right.
They totally nailed that. And so for me, I think pretty much all the storylines in this movie are awesome. Like the relationship between the mini Ben Shapiro and the assassin are great. The fact that an assassin wants to try to kill Santa, that's great. The way they made Santa a interesting, normal person, somewhat normal person, is great. The way the government interacts with Santa and his elves is great. But I have one gigantic problem with this movie. The way they tried to glue all these storylines together, I thought was pretty bad.
Hmm.
I wish they would have explored one of those storylines I pointed out, kind of made that the primary storyline. Was very unsatisfying to me, almost boring. And it's kind of like they just didn't go very deep on any of the storylines. They kind of just touched and it's like all these different storylines are happening that are all interesting, but they don't really focus on any of them. And a good example of that is the kid at the start hiring the assassin, but then the assassin already wants to kill Santa. Like he already has a motive to kill Santa. He ends up killing him because he's angry at Santa because he treated him
Mhm.
poorly when
Yeah.
he was a kid. So what's the point of the kid getting him to pay to do it? And I just thought they tried to do a whole bunch of stuff and all a bunch of good ingredients, good acting, good actors, like cinematography was good, but they put it all together and I just like the tone was I was super confused by the tone. Like I couldn't tell if it was a comedy. It's all played like super deadpan, which works
Hmm.
sometimes. But yeah, for me, the way they glued together all the different bits of this movie, I had a lot of problem. I just didn't enjoy it. Actually, I simply didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, especially with the part with the elves and the military, like when they were eating food.
Well, I think what you need is some protein, vegetables, fiber. I mean, I bet if we gave some real food to these people, they would shoot up like beanstalks.
That whole bit I thought was like, that could be crumbled up and tossed out. Let's get back to the hunting and assassin and Santa, getting rid of this guy.
Well, I think
But
that was their way of like possibly trying to humanize the elves because you don't
oh,
really know
okay,
much about them,
true.
so you
They're
kind of want to
unimportant
have to feel
to
for
the
them
movie.
because they're about to be ransacked by Goggins.
Yeah, I guess you could put it that you gotta care for them, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, you could automatically. I would assume that elves already have a special place in everyone's heart. I mean, they're
Especially
the
the
elves.
keyboard
They
elves.
brought you toys when you were a kid.
Kyle just said he
Exactly.
hates the
Yeah,
mystique of Santa.
that's true. That's
Well,
true. Yeah.
it's just it's always, oh, I'm so jolly and so happy and blah blah blah, and it's like, no, this guy's This guy busts his ass all year just for one night. It's like he gets married every single year. You know,
Yeah.
you plan, you build stuff, and you pay out money, and you all this stuff, and it's over in one night.
I
And
Well, I
love the
just like the fact that Santa's got bills.
yeah,
See,
Yeah.
Santa's got problems, and it's financial.
Santa's got problems with the government.
I mean, the poor guy. First of all, he lives in Canada, and he's having to mooch off America. There's that.
That is true.
I'm like, how in the world's America getting away with this?
And you definitely can't blame tax loopholes either, because I don't think
No.
they have many tax loopholes up there. But it is closer to the North Pole, so that does make sense. And the town is called North Peak, which I thought was pretty funny. Like everything around this town was like, okay, this is very North Polish. And I liked his, he drinks a lot of booze apparently, from what we were gathering, like with his flask and everything.
Booze and
But
cookies.
it's easily exchanged with some hot chocolate, right? So he
So
can
he's not
easily be
addicted.
he can be easily persuaded by some hot chocolate. And how about a cookie? And he always gets a smile on his face when he's eating a cookie. He's like, "Yeah, I'm eating cookies. I'm drinking some milk and some hot chocolate." And that's I did like that piece. Just the simple, I do like milk and cookies aspect of Santa. But
I thought it was hilarious when Ruth, which is apparently Mrs. Claus's first name, is talking about her vegan stage.
We have each other's backs. That's how this works. Remember when my bacon went through the vegan sugar-free phase?
Yeah. I was lucky to survive it. Must have lost 12 pounds.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
isn't that's another example? Like their relationship was awesome, but it's barely explored. Like it just seems to be a super interesting relationship they have, like very human relationship, and you can tell that Ruth also has a relationship with the elves and the factory, right? And but you don't get to explore any of it. It's just there, but then it disappears without there's not much depth to a really interesting concept. And I feel like all the concepts are
Yeah.
interesting, they just don't have any depth to them.
And I think this is the first Christmas movie that includes Santa Claus that I've seen that I can remember where Santa got laid.
Bad Santa.
Oh,
Well,
well, I haven't seen that one.
It wasn't really he was a mall Santa, I guess.
Ah,
But
Yeah, the Santa
this
Claus
is
got lucky.
the
in this
Santa
one.
Claus. This is Chris Kringle himself. But anyway, the
it's also
the one
can we say he's not? It's called Fatman. He's not fat in this movie.
well, he is
He's
That kind of bothered me.
hefty.
Even if he,
He's
Portly.
husky.
his forearms are massive.
Yeah.
He-
I'll tell you that because
has-
he keeps working out his penis.
I was expecting to see like him in a bodysuit or something, but I just thought it was funny. I was just like, he's not that fat. I mean, he's got so many clothes on half the time, you can't tell.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the best part about this movie is I think it just brings the realism down. It brings the realism to your face of going, you know what? Santa Claus may not just be fat. He might just be a skinny dude. Everybody
Well,
portrays him as being fat, though.
Well, and he complained about it too.
I've lost my influence.
You're an icon. People love you.
I'm a silly fat man in a red suit. I mean, you think it's cute, but this is what people actually think of me. Christmas is a farce. I'm a joke.
He's like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah, so they actually addressed that.
Yeah, which I
And-
loved.
And I was gonna
and-
say, I kind of disagree with the statement that they didn't really explore the relationship between Ruth and him. I thought they did a fine job with that. I mean, we
Well-
learned a lot about their relationship of how much they cared, like you said, how much they cared about their workers and all that stuff and each other. And they talked about some of their history together. She knew that he was going through stressful time, and remember where she brought him out those folders of which I think is one of the best scenes in the movie.
I don't think it's bad. I think they should show more of it. It's like get rid of everything to do with the child, get rid of the entire assassin plot line, and let me learn more about this family because I'm intrigued by them. Or get rid of the storyline about the family. Let me learn more about the assassin.
Yeah, I liked the assassin bit a lot, but I also agree that they did need to explore a little bit about their history as a couple because is she is she mortal? Does she, live like does she heal like him? Are they both
She does.
Wolverines?
She this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she does because she actually got shot in the back,
That's what I was
I
about to
did see
say.
that
Yeah.
too. Yeah. And then of
and
course
she
they didn't
healed
really
up.
address that, she needed any help or anything. So
Right.
obviously I guess she does heal.
And I'll
But
tell you,
yeah.
when Goggins shot Santa, I kind of teared up.
Well,
I'm
I
like,
was
no, he
shocked.
didn't. No, he didn't just kill Santa Claus. How is this possible? And I'm in my mind, and I'm going back to what he said, what Santa said whenever she found out, whenever Ruth found out that that he was shot.
Again?
Yeah, put 2 holes in the sleigh, one in me. Even tore my bag.
Don't worry about the bag. Let me see your side.
No, I'm all right. It's fine. It's fine. It'll heal in the usual way.
So I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's not dead. And luckily he wasn't. Now he just has a cool eye patch.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking too. Is yeah, he was shot in the head, but I'm thinking, well, maybe he can't actually survive a headshot. Like he can survive, bullet wounds or stab wounds or anything else like that. That's fine. He could probably heal regularly, but like a headshot,
Santa
uh,
zombie.
yeah, maybe, maybe that's like end of life, type thing. But no, he came back, which I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Good job. It
Yeah.
took him a little bit, but
Yeah, it
he
took him
came
a little
back.
bit. And when he was just telling that little Ben Shapiro, that he better be good or he's gonna come back. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. Like,
Yeah.
wow, that's scary.
If anybody that crosses your path is made to feel less or lower because of you, I'm coming back. I'll come while you sleep and rip you from your covers.
I think budget Ben Shapiro got off too easy. Like I was
Yeah,
really wanting
same.
him to get slapped around or something by Santa or something. I don't know.
And I'm with Justin. Yeah, I was. Don't let him off the hook here. Don't.
Yeah.
You're just gonna scare him. He's not gonna learn his lesson here.
They're taking
Choke
him up
slam
in
him
the
through
sleigh
the
and
desk,
dropped him
Jesus,
and
that would've been
caught him and
hilarious.
dropped him and caught him.
or like force him to work in the elf factory forever.
Ooh.
Something
Yeah.
strange
Ooh.
like that.
Ever
Yeah.
wonder how I get my elves?
Right?
You're-
They're all
you're-
bad.
You're number
kids.
2007.
I did audibly gasp. You are right when Santa gets shot. And honestly, I wasn't super invested in the movie. This is coming to like the climax of the movie because of all the theme switch, like all the story switching. But I audibly gasped. I was like, I have never seen Santa get shot before,
Right?
Mhm.
and
That
it's like
that
an
was definitely a first.
execution style shot. And
Yes.
I thought the whole scene was great. It had a
That
lot of like,
shocked me.
yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of Jason. There's that like one Jason Bourne movie it reminded me of with the guy that's in the snow because the way the Goggins' character is walking around the snow,
right.
or like specking the place out, and then he's got his like snow suit on and his rifle, and he gets blood all over them. It's great. I really liked that part of it.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to think of. I never even heard the concept of Santa being shot. I don't think definitely haven't seen a movie that even has that in it.
Well, apparently you're not, because he apparently can get shot in the head and come back.
Oh, and he can actually drink poisoned milk,
Fentanyl.
fentanyl. He's
Yeah.
like fentanyl.
Well, and that much fentanyl would drop half the United States, man.
Yeah,
I didn't
that
know.
was-
Didn't know Grandma was a victim of the opioid crisis.
Apparently.
Yeah, which kind of it kind of blew my mind a little bit, just because okay, so I wonder how many other people have secretly tried to poison Santa, and he's just immune to all of this stuff.
Well, he wasn't the first.
I've come for your head, Fatman!
You think you're the first? You think I got this job because I'm fat and jolly?
Yeah, what do you guys want to? I guess not rate this movie, but would you guys recommend this movie to people during the Christmas season?
Yeah. Anybody want to jump ahead?
I recommend it wholeheartedly, 100%. You should watch it at least once. I really like it. We're probably going to watch it again. My wife is very no, she's not impressed with much, and she was pretty impressed with it.
Oh yeah, I'll dissent that opinion. I like there's so many interesting ideas in this movie. Like I could have watched an entire movie about Santa just in the town, going to the bars, watching him deal with like real, as John said, pay bills. I found that interesting. I found the relationship interesting. I even found the kid and the assassin interesting, but just the way it was all tied together, I ended up nothing seemed to matter to me at the end. I was just like,
Mm.
okay, I guess all the elves are, he goes in, kills a bunch of the military people, and is everything. I suppose the deal with the government got wrapped up, and they made the parts. It's everything just kind of fell flat the way it was all tied together. I found myself getting bored a few times in the movie where I was like checking my phone, like how much longer? What's like what? Give me something to focus on here in this movie. Um, so yeah, it's unfortunate because yeah, good acting, good ideas, just not good execution. So go Ginger Dead Man over this movie.
Wow.
Go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So this movie definitely surprised me. I thought it was going to be a little cheesy, but it kind of had a little bit of like a Die Hard-esque feel to it. It was a action, not necessarily action packed, but it was an action Santa Christmas movie, which I really was shocked about. Um, Definitely will watch again. Probably not every Christmas, but if anybody wants a good Christmas movie to watch besides Die Hard, watch this for sure.
Um, I'm gonna make it 3-1. I would recommend the movie. Rowan shaking his head no. Um, no, I enjoyed it. I was entertained. I was thoroughly entertained through it. It wasn't what I expected. Yeah, I don't know really what to say about it. It was a fun movie. I'd recommend it. So with that, we are going to go to our Patreon members only section. So if you aren't a Patreon member, go to patreon.com/screenriots. Go join. You can hear the rest of us talking about this movie and jibber jabber and some other stuff. Who knows? But we will see you next week where we will be doing our December Christmas show stream thing that we do once a month. So make sure you check us out on YouTube for that. So with that, see you guys next week.
So yeah.
So yeah.
See ya.